Hello again, I am Blunty, and some of you may feel a bit offended by what I'm about to say in this video, and if you think this video is about you and what kind of gamer you are, then you probably should be offended, because I'm about to call you out on your shit! Now, this isn't the first time I've poked at these particular issues, and it won't be the last either, I can guarantee you that, because this is a behaviour that is damaging a hobby I fucking love, and it shits me off. So, pretty much any time I make a video about gaming, I get called a fanboy, which, let's face it, is pretty much par for the course of any blogger, vlogger, journalist, or the gimmick personality types like the self-proclaimed angry gamers here on YouTube who do nothing but shout. But speaking for myself only, here's the super-duper dumb part. I get called a Sony fanboy, and an Xbox fanboy, and a Nintendo fanboy, and on it goes, sometimes all in the same comment section. And the truth of the matter is, they're all right, in that I'm a fan of gaming. I am a true gamer. But the people who are calling me, or others, fanboy, are not trying to imply this. They're trying, desperately, breathlessly, with a single word, completely escape having to actually consider someone else's viewpoint. And there are two videos I published quite recently which work as brilliant examples of this kind of idiotic behaviour. In one video I say that I like the DualShock 4 more than the new Xbox One controller. Thus, I am praised by Sony fans as a reliable, informed source who knows what he's talking about, and at the same time decried as an obvious Sony fanboy by the X-bots in the crowd. In another video, I make a statement, backed by more than a decade and a half of evidence, that the most powerful console isn't necessarily the most popular choice of its generation, and that focusing on raw power only is stupid and myopic. And bam! You bet your ass I'm praised by the Microsoft drones for being a voice of reason, and the Sony fans flip-flop on me and are now screaming from the rooftops that I'm an obvious Xbox fanboy. Let me ask you this, if it's so obvious what kind of fanboy I am, how come no one seems to agree between a sample size of as little as 2 different videos? By the way, don't bother going looking for these comments, I delete them on site for reasons I'll be making clear throughout this video. But in short, I nuke them because they're too stupid to exist in my little kingdom of this corner of YouTube. This is my corner of YouTube, and I'm under no obligation at all to tolerate dickheads being dickheads. I'm the king here, and thou shalt be banished if thou shalt act like a royal shit stain. So, to the people trundling around and squealing like stuck pigs, throwing insult after derision and trying to paint the red letter F for fanboy on the doors of people who are just trying to have an open discussion based on considered logic, fuck you. You are some of the most tedious, ignorant, vile little twerps in existence in the gaming world, and I'm almost loath to pay them any mind at all, but I need to try and get this straight. These people are disgusting. They literally disgust me. They revolt me in their behaviour. They'll gleefully take one isolated bit of information, remove any context, and then spin it out as far as possible and as thinly as possible to suit their own sad little agendas. I tell you, some of these mouth breathers are worse than fucking politicians for this shit. The fact is, the word fanboy is used more often these days as a shorthand for ignorantly dismissing someone else's opinion, so the accuser doesn't have to stress their tiny little brain considering the fact that this stuff is a matter of preference, and that their own monumentally arrogant position that their own opinion is the one and the only universal truth of the matter is a very silly place to stand indeed. The figurative irony of all this is that more often than not the people accusing others of being fanboys are simply fanboys themselves, just from the other side of the fence. Their own hypocrisy never even seems to occur to them. Make no mistake, this is all about the pathetically fragile egos of these keyboard warriors. They've wrapped a cloak of brand loyalty around themselves in an effort to become part of a tribe, to feel like they're part of a group. And it's a pretty deeply woven need in the primate brain to be in a group, to be a tribe member. Ask any anthropologist or behavioural scientist, they'll tell you the same thing. And along with being a tribe member comes the instinct to violently and loudly screech and fight to protect the tribe and its territory from rival tribes. But that behaviour is wholly misplaced and catastrophically retarded when the tribe you try to jam yourself into is that of a brand, a company, a trademark. You silly little corporate whores. You see, people like me, we are the real gamers, and the brand-loyal fanboys are just the wannabes. A true fan of gaming wouldn't wall themselves off from potential gaming experience just because it's made by the wrong company, or the other tribe, as it were. A real gamer is open to any good gaming experience. Its worth does not lie in what company makes the hardware it runs on. Its worth lies in how much enjoyment there is to be had from playing it. This isn't fucking rocket science, people. And on this mark, I stand by my record. I've made videos on Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, both commentary and reviews on the hardware and the software, both first and third party games. I've been fair and balanced. I've praised and ridiculed in equal measure when it's been warranted. I own all current consoles and handhelds, and I plan to do exactly the same thing in the incoming generation. I have absolutely no intention of reducing my choices by taking up the flag of a fucking corporate entity and waving it around as if it were my reason to live. And the really ridiculous thing is that every single time I speak to passionate gamers in real life, face to face, either in game stores or in particular at gaming expos and conventions, which I've attended regularly for years, and always make a point of having conversations with people about their gaming preferences and their hardware preferences, especially at the recent ones with the start of a new generation kicking off real soon, and never, not once, has anybody I have ever spoken to over the years behaved anything even remotely like the gamers do online. In person, they're respectful, they listen, they consider, they attempt to express themselves and their passion calmly without taking blind swipes at people who hold different opinions to theirs. Contrary to the opinion you may get if you only ever interact with them online, gamers are not inherently massive douchebags. But like all digitally distributed discussion, the internet, with its veil of potential anonymity, makes it easier to be a cunt wound. You little fuckers feel safe behind your keyboards, safe from being punched in the throat. Cowardly arseholes, they feel free to be miserable little cockbites. So, how about all you finger-pointing fuckers stop your baboon hollering, tree-thumping and leaf-throwing and face facts? You're a poser. You're a wannabe, an incomplete gamer, and your shitty behaviour is damaging the world of gaming and turning something that is supposed to be fun, a simple joy, into a clusterfuck. You actively try to discourage people from enjoying the hobby you claim to be so passionate about in the first place. For what purpose? So you can feel like you're some special club by excluding other people? Like you're special? You're not special, you're a dickhead. You turn being a gamer into a miserable shithole of sleazy behaviour that would get your face kicked the fuck in if you tried it at a bar where you'd actually have to face the consequences of the things you say to other human beings. So calm your tits, open your eyes and your mind, and for fuck's sake, stop being such dicks to each other. As always, I am Blunty. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.